Last night, the Lakers and the Mavericks played, and of course, you know that the Dallas Mavericks defeated the Lakers 109 to 104. Uh, in many people's opinion, the game was a very uh, at one point lopsided game until the Lakers did whatever they could to try to to fight back in that game. Now there was a particular play earlier in the game. I think it was around the I want to say I think it was around the second or third quarter. Jalen Brunson, what looked to be suffered a gruesome, I mean absolutely gruesome injury when he was going, uh, for a layup, and then another player had came down on his foot. Now, a lot of people would have thought, how could this guy even think about even getting up to play, much less even getting up to walk, much less even standing up, right? Salute Grinder, I see you in the building. Salute J Steves, I see you in the building. Listen, Jalen Brunson, and I don't think y'all know what I'm talking about. Jalen Brunson is what the heart and the mindset and just the overall mental capability as well as physical for a guy like that to play, like how they talk about all these guys that could play in the 80s, play in the 90s. Charles Oakley coming with this silly stuff saying that guys like Giannis couldn't play and he would come off the bench and stuff like that. So let me get this right. Jalen Brunson can suffer a gruesome injury like he did, right? And if you saw the injury, you would have thought, man, there is no way that that impossible in hell that this guy would keep playing. That's not what happened. He got up, still played, still showed heart, still showed tremendous guts. But Ben Simmons is complaining about back problems and haven't played. Nah, bro, you making excuses now. And see, that's what separates a guy like Jalen Brunson in comparison to Ben Simmons, who everybody automatically just decorates this guy, or decorates some of these superstars, or decorates some of these players who are just mentally weak when something when you know that physicality is a part of the game, when you know that aches and pains are a part of the game. Listen, I know everybody's body is different, right? I know everybody's body is different, but the mental capability of these guys has to be judged. I just wanted to talk about that because you could sit up there and you could cry and complain about your back and stuff like that. But meanwhile, this guy, it 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 was an ugly injury. Now everybody's body is different, but this guy right here, in Jalen Brunson. That's why I said, in my opinion, he's the most important player on that team. Everybody looks at Luka. No, it's Jalen Brunson because when you saw that injury, you were gasping for air. You were like, "Whoa!" And if they, Tim Hardaway Jr., yeah, he went down. If they lost Jalen Brunson, oh, their season was over without a doubt. Their season would have been over. Their season would have been over. So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. You're sitting there and you're saying, "Oh yeah, when Ben Simmons gets ready, or when Ben Simmons does this, and Ben Simmons does that." Well, hey, you're gonna have to wait until the end of March, buddy, possibly April, till you see him. But meanwhile, you got guys out here with aches and pains that have sprained their ankles, that have uh, you know more serious injuries, and they're coming back. That's why I laugh at people when for two things. I laugh at people that say that John Morant should not be number one in the MVP race right when he suffered two injuries and has came back and did whatever he could to get back. Right. I laugh at the fact that people say that, oh yeah, well, a guy like Charles Oakley saying that Giannis could not, pan out well in the '80s or in the '90s or whatever, and he'd be coming off the bench. Well, the guy has a mental capability because last time I checked, he hyperextended his knee and was back right away. Hyperextensions, man, in careers, depending on how further it would have went in terms of breaking their leg or whatever. And I know that there wasn't shown to be any structural damage or anything like that, but still, you never know. It could have went either way. So you're sitting up there and you're looking at a guy like Jalen Brunson who couldn't walk for a few minutes or whatever, still fighting, still playing. That's what the NBA wants to see. They don't want to see guys, oh yeah, making every excuse, falling down on the ground, holding out because I got this injury, I got that going on, or something like that. Get traded to a team with the assumption that you're getting ready to play and everything, but you're sitting over there on the sideline. You might as well just be eating popcorn and having a soda and enjoying yourself and going there with the fans and go drink your beer because you don't want to play. If you really wanted to play, you would suit your ass up. Hey, you know have a back problem here and there or whatever. Maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most to get yourself going. But you don't even want to do that. But meanwhile, you got a guy in a fight. And listen, let's just call it what it is. They were in a dog fight last night. Jalen Brunson was in a dog fight last night, along with Luca, along with the rest of them guys on there, and they still were coming in there doing everything they could to rock the house. What is it about some of these guys? Jalen Brunson, I've been talking about him the whole time, and one of the reasons why I like Jalen Brunson is because he plays the point guard like it's supposed to be played. Right? Doesn't get the credit, that he deserves. While meanwhile, everybody talking about Luca, which Luca has played great down the last game. Gotta give him his just doing everything. But you're talking about a guy that's from Chicago. You're talking about a guy that has that toughness bred in him. You're talking about a guy that has a lot of will and desire to help his team out, regardless of what hurts, regardless of what injury. That's my only thing. But no, y'all want to praise the individual. You want to praise him. You want to praise him for how talented. You want to praise him for how many points he scored and all this other stuff. You don't want to praise this guy for the heroics of doing everything that he could. Barely standing. That's Isaiah type of stuff. That's Magic type of stuff. That's even Jordan type of stuff. Sprain the ankle. Hey, gotta give it. Even LeBron. He sprained his ankle and still has came back. There's been guys that have that Giannis. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Guys like him and Zion and guys like that, man, you got to question whether or not they really even want to play this game. But you got guys like Isaiah Thomas who are doing everything that they can despite their adversity, despite him being undersized, still doing everything that he can to get out. That's a product I want to see in the NBA. That's not mediocrity to me. Mediocrity, you could be mediocre in your talent all day and everything, but if your heart, your will, and desire is superior, man. But that's all they talk about is 80s. Who would have played in the 90s? Who would have played in this day? But you name all these stuff like that. No knock on Giannis or anything like that. But what you need to be looking at is a guy like Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, that's what guys used to do way back when. Guys would get hurt, and guess what? They were doing everything that they can to get back in the game. Some of these guys, they had to tell Michael Jordan that because you had a broken foot or whatever. They had to put him on minutes restriction, and he didn't want to be on minutes restriction or anything like that. He wanted to jump back in there full force. That's how hungry he was. That's what you want to see. Nobody wants to see that, man. Nobody, the people are getting tired. You want to know why they boo? The Lakers and everything like that. It's because you're not giving any effort. You're not showing that you want to be here. We could talk about skills and fundamentals. We could talk about all that stuff all day. These guys right now are doing everything. They're doing everything possible. Well, some of these guys are doing everything possible to find any type of leeway or excuse not to play under pressure. Look, if you are as good as you say that you are, why don't you go back to Philly and prove them wrong? The greats had to face the booth. MJ got booed. Kobe got booed. Shaq got booed. Magic Johnson got booed. The whole Lakers team got booed, saying different stuff. Those rivalries back in the days, and then they're talking about, oh yeah, well we could do without the fans and all this other stuff. Man, look, then you couldn't play back in them days because you could not be sensitive, man. It's like especially going to a place like Detroit and you're a Boston fan or you're a Boston Celtic or you're a Chicago Bulls and you going to Detroit or even with 76ers or something like that. I mean, it trips me out. This. It's just funny to me. It's just real funny, and I find it strange that all of these players are getting hurt. They're getting hurt, and these are injuries that you be like, man, I don't think you're gonna recover from this. But guess what? They time and time again prove you wrong. John Morant, you know, this guy, gets hurt. He's been hurt. He's been hurt a couple of times, but he'll be out and come right back. He's not sitting there in there prologuing anything or anything like that. Man, you here to do your job. Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment, man. I'll get at you later.